You often hear about marital infidelity, where someone cheats on their spouse and leaves the marriage for someone else. Adultery sometimes is romanticized in movies or popular in reality television.
But in real life, cheating with someone who's married and causing their divorce can be illegal, at least in 7 states. And North Carolina is one that still holds the alienation of affection law sacred. Married 12 years, had children.
It was like someone calling you and telling you a family member had just suddenly and tragically died.
His marriage had died, and according to court records, another man killed it.
He came to my house, and we shared stories. We talked about personal lives.
The man was found guilty of intentionally wooing Kevin's wife away, right in his own home. There's an old law still on North Carolina books and also 6 other states. It's called alienation of affection. And for one man in eastern North Carolina, well, it meant a huge payout. But will he see any of that money? Kevin Howard is that man, and in this Pitt County courtroom, he sued the man his wife had an affair with and won a judgment of $750,000.
I filed the case because I feel it's very important that people understand that the sanctity of marriage is important, especially in this day and age when people question everyone's morals, people question everyone's viability as a person, and the state backed me up on it.
If the defendant can't pay, it turns into debt owed and appears on his credit report. One of the reasons some attorneys question why the old law still remains.
Are we backing up the court system for a week to 2 weeks to have a jury selection and have a jury trial, and for the plaintiff to spend, again, tens of thousands of dollars to really end up getting a piece of paper they're not going to ever collect again?
In her 30-year law career, Mills has argued on average about 1 alienation of affection case every year. Attorney Kelly Gonzalez thinks this should be the last year.
I think the law should be repealed. There have been several legislative movements and attempts to have the law removed, but those have failed.
The old law is from the 1800s and follows English law dating back to 1745, when wives were considered property. Attorney Paul Jenkins also questions why it still remains.
I think it's somewhat antiquated and old in nature.
Today, either husband or wife can sue someone they believe damaged their marriage.
The defendant, he did things purposely. He would visit with her when I was at work.
In North Carolina, only once was the law successfully challenged in the 1984 case of Cannon versus Miller, where the State Court of Appeals changed the law.
Critics call this law an obsolete method of inflicting morality on the society. One of the reasons for the law is to uphold the sanctity of marriage, but studies have shown that the impacts of this law do not do that.
After the brief death of the law in 1984, the state Supreme Court reversed the lower court's decision and harshly criticized the court for its actions.
They're not going anywhere. We're protecting these torts.
Perhaps protecting your marriage.
I have scars, and I still have a lot of healing to do.